welcome everyone. So this will be a more in-depth, oh my goodness. All right, excuse the hair. Welcome everyone. All right, so this is going to be a in-depth review of the subconscious and what you can do to help aid this in a positive direction to get your life moving forward and in the direction that you want it to go into. All right, so in the original video, I had talked about the subconscious and also the power of now by Eckhart Tolle. And in this one, I'm going to go a little more in depth. So what you need to understand is that the subconscious mind is characterized by what you think about the most. Okay, so think of it like this. Let's say you can't feel anything, or you feel that you have no emotions, you're dead inside, you don't feel like you're what a quote-unquote normal person would be, or maybe someone who's extremely happy and giddy. You can't relate with that, you can't resemble with that because you feel so hollow and empty inside that there really is no way or possibility that you could possibly get out of this depression or this reality that you have set yourself in, or have had things happen to you which then set yourself into it. Okay, now what in reality this is the knowledge that each thought that you continuously have in your own brain will make the pathway that uses that same thought, because each thought goes through a different nerve system, if you will. It's kind of like a web. And let's just say, for this reference, my pinky is a really positive thought, and my thumb is like, I want to kill myself, I'm alienated, I'm depressed, and I can't relate to anyone, feeling of alienation, right? And then let's say in the middle here is just kind of like the passageways to either one of these, all right? Now what happens is if you pick one or the other, it will become stronger, kind of like a muscle. The more that you think that thought, the more that you work out, the stronger that muscle becomes. And once you start using either the negative or the positive long enough, there is a kind of a like speedway that kind of protects around the actual nerve system itself. It's called a myelin sheath. And think of it like this. Think of it as when you have, let's say you're just beginning to start to think positive, okay? I would relate that to a coal, slow-moving train. One of the trains that's actually out here that will probably not pass at the time of this video, but will pass. It's one that goes extremely slow. It's one that is extremely powerful, but it's slow. It's not easy. You know, it takes a lot of horsepower and energy. That would be a new positive thought that you're trying to recreate in your brain when all you have is that negative thought that's been myelin sheathed. All right, now what the myelin sheath means and what it correlates to would be actually more of like a bullet train. So what this does is it takes the train that has a bunch of horsepower, your negative thought, and then because you continuously think about it, it goes, oh, well, that part of my brain is being used more, so we need to protect it and we need to make it more efficient, because that is what your brain does. And in doing so, it puts a little sheath around the nervous system, the little line that your nerve will send energy through to have that thought. And what happens is then it goes even faster, and then it becomes even easier. So when you have that reaction, so when someone says something and it makes you instantly react, and then you have an auditory or physical response, that is caused by that continuous thought. And then the myelin sheath speeds it up. So then now you can't stop and pause and wait and go, wait a minute. It just automatically happens. It's an automatic reaction because of this. All right, now, becoming aware of that, this is why it is so hard to learn something new. Because if you've stuck in your same frame of mind, or your same faith, if you will, or belief, it's extremely hard to pull away from it. Because what happens is because the more and more that you like this, and let's be honest, you like the depression because you feed off of it. It is what you've really, quote unquote, only known. And so then because of that, you feel obligated to try to get back to that spot that you're in, because at some point you might have had some strength to, maybe pull yourself out of it, or at least get to the point where you won't kill yourself, but you're still stuck in that lower frame of consciousness. And because of that, it has the realization of, well, that's not really pulling me out of it. That's just kind of keeping me dormant, So what happens is you'll dip, and then you'll hit rock bottom. And this is what's actually happened to me, is I would dip and I hit rock bottom. And when I was at rock bottom, I pushed everyone away, and I solely only focused on myself. I was extremely selfish with everything that I did, because I pushed everyone away and I was like, I don't want anyone else to feel my pain. But at the same point, I was actually making it worse for myself. Now, because of that, I actually found a little bit of strength, because once you get to that point, you just don't care. Nothing matters anymore. And then this is what actually produces more of the problem. I guess the airplane guy came back. Hold on, man. Okay, and so what was happening is I could find strength from this low vibration, because I just didn't I literally just didn't care. Nothing mattered to me. And so then I could do things that would actually help myself, but I still had the self-sabotaging mindset. I still had the negativity. So it would help myself a little bit, but I would still stay at this very low state. And what you think about obviously will become a projection and happen into your reality. And so with this, you can start to realize that let's change what I say. Let's change what I think. And it's going to be hard, as I said before, kind of earlier. But if you just change a couple words that you kind of unconsciously say. So for me, I say howdy to people sometimes when I'm nervous, but that is more or less my kind of expression that I use to greet people with, right? That is a subconscious word that is just kind of been ingrained over the period of time. Well, what if you did the same thing, but with other words in your vocabulary and made them positive? Right? And what if you made the view of what you're thinking, what's been subconsciously put into you, right? So like, let's say this thing right here is a piece of wood, but for the reference, let's just say this is a negative thought. What if instead of this negative thought, you put it as a positive thought? And every single time that you were like, oh, I can find a really good one for you. If you hate work, and you continuously tell yourself, I hate work, I hate work, I hate work, I can't believe I'm doing this, I'm doing a dead-end job, it's awful. Now, I agree that you should probably be doing what you love, but you have to start off somewhere. The system doesn't help you in the regard that if you just start doing what you love, instantly you're going to get it somewhere, especially at my age, around the age of, I guess for me, 20-ish. Yes, I can work, but there's a certain level of degree that of time that I have to put into this in order for it to fruition. I can't just have it, instantly happen in front of me. And so with this realization, you kind of have to slowly, every once in a while, catch yourself and change. Again, this is more towards your point of view, because once you do that, this is when it starts to re-ingrain your brain, and then this is what changes the subconscious level, because the subconscious level is what it already decides that you want to do. So it's already what you like to eat, it's already what you don't like to eat, it's what you like to do, who you don't like to hang out with, who you like to hang out. I personally love rainy days. It's actually one of the most productive days that I could possibly have. I don't know why, but it enriches me. Also, on a cloudy day like this, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it actually pumps me up a little bit. And again, this is all off of point of view. This is all off of, if you think about it, really how you've been trained. See, your parents and society have all given you a specific agenda, the specific ideas of what they've learned and then brought on to you. And so now it's at your point where you need to start to think, well, what they're doing, is it really what I need? Is it really what would help me move forward, help me become more enlightened, help me become happy? And in doing so, you will start to change your subconscious. Hope the guys helped. Peace.